Today's video is just a quick comparison between bin shopping and consignment store shopping as far as sourcing. So if you're interested in hearing my take on the pros and cons, stay tuned. Next up is this Columbia. Welcome in, friends. Today's video is going to be comparing consignment stores versus bins. So if you are new here, my name is Stephanie and I am a full-time fashion reseller. What that means is I buy pre-owned clothing, shoes, and accessories, and I flip them on sites like Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, Depop, and Facebook Marketplace for a profit. I also do live auctions on Posh Shows, Whatnot, and Jamble, so I need inventory for those too. So, as a reseller, sourcing affordable inventory to flip, good affordable inventory to flip, is like my life's work. That is the crux of our business, is to find awesome flippable items at a low price point. So I'm going to share with you the details. So in my sourcing this week, it kind of hit me as I was out. Wednesday, I went to the Goodwill Outlet for my normal Goodwill Outlet, also known as the bins, sourcing trip. And then yesterday, which was Thursday, I had a little bit of time before I went to get my hair cut, and I popped into a consignment shop, and I got some things there. And so just the experiences are so different, both valid and both very good business models, but are different, that I thought this would be a great opportunity to share those differences with you and how they fit into my business model. So the first haul, the Wednesday haul at the Goodwill Outlet, I spent $69 and I got 52 items, which brought out the cost of goods to $1.33 an item. Whereas the haul I did yesterday at the consignment shop, I spent $80 and I got 17 items, which brought the cost to $5.05 an item. So already there a big difference. I spent more, I got less. The items cost more per item at the consignment store, whereas the bins, I was able to get, almost 3 times as many items for a much lower price point and for less money. So we're going to deep dive a little bit into the two different places. I'm going to talk about my shopping experience at both of them, the flippability of the items I found, the processing of the items, as well as my overall profitability and how it feeds into my business model. So make sure you like and subscribe, hit that like button and subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. Which do you prefer, consignment shopping or bins, or are you like me where you like to do a little mix of both? So as far as shopping experience, I'm going to start with the consignment shop first. So the consignment shop experience is definitely the funner experience. It is high-end to mid-range items. Everything's organized. It's on racks. It's already been clean and vetted. My consignment shop that I like to go to, and there are two that I frequent pretty often here in Central Indiana, they have a sale system where the items decrease in price, where they get as low as 80% over the course of their time in the consignment store. So I primarily focus only on the 80%. They used to have 90%, but they got rid of that. So if I am shopping to flip, I focus on the 80%, the items that have been marked down on and are on sale for 80%. Every now and then there's a super duper duper high end item that I will purchase at 50% or 60%. But mostly I stick to 80%. But the overall experience, it's climate controlled. It's, sometimes if it's a holiday or something, they'll have treats out. It's a boutique-y shopping experience that I would, do with my girlfriends. Um, I do buy things there for myself higher than 80%, and then when I'm done using them, I will resell them. I'll flip them. Like, for instance, I'm looking for a dress for my niece's wedding, so I'm willing to spend a little bit more money because it's a dress for a special occasion. But I am a full-time reseller, and so I don't need special occasion cocktail dresses. And let's face it, with Instagram and photos and all that, after I've worn it once, I'm probably not going to want to wear it again, so I'll flip it. Although I am going on a cruise like the day after the wedding, so I might wear it twice. But anyway, I'm looking for something there. It's still secondhand, but also the consignment shops have lots of new tags, but it's primarily secondhand, excellent condition. So I love the experience. It's just like any fun like shopping experience. Whereas the bins, it I have grown. I'm used to the bins, so it doesn't bother me at all. And I taught middle school for 23 years, so I'm used to the rough and tough of people and just the diversity of people, the lack of boundaries of people. And I don't get easily scared, frustrated, offended by people. With that being said, the bins is physically demanding. You don't go into the bins like cute in your wedges, like for a relaxed shopping experience, like you do the consignment shop. I go in there with my earbuds in, my sweatpants on, and ready to like dig because it is backbreaking work. I am 5'4", and so I don't reach the other side, the far side of the bin without like coming up and kind of being into the bin and having to scoop the things closer to me, because I'm a smaller person and I'm a shorter person. I don't want to say smaller, shorter person, and then, I can't reach across. So with that said, the bins is some back-breaking work, and you have to deal with other people who are pushy in your personal space, will take things out of your hand, especially if you're sourcing shoes. Shoes is a biggest difference because the shoes are not mated up in the bins, whereas there are the bins I go to, I believe 8 shoe bins. So you might find one shoe in shoe number one, bin number 1, and the other one in bin number 7. It's like a maniacal like memory matching game. So, and there's lots of people who are sourcing shoes, and so it's crazy over at the shoes. Whereas at the consignment store, the high value shoes they only have the right shoe out. So if you decide, and since I'm not trying them on because I buy all kinds of sizes, um, so if I just grab the right shoes, take them up to the counter, they give me the mates. It's great. I'm like, so, um, you know, the shopping experience, I would prefer the shopping experience over a consignment shop than over the bins. And that's where I feel like the higher price point comes in. It's like you're paying a little bit more, but you also have this more relaxed shopping experience. Um, Also, as far as the experience, I can be in and out of the consignment store in about 45 minutes, whereas at the bins, I am normally there at least 2.5 to 3 hours. Next up is the flippability of the items. So when I go into the consignment shop, they have a special section called designer, and those are all the designer brands. They have Free People and Anthro pulled out. They have, like Lululemon pulled out on its own racks, and they have like plus size on its own rack and plus size designer on its own rack, and then everything else is kind of, put in together. So like some of the top brands that as a reseller I would be looking for are already sorted out. Now they're sorted out for the other resellers too, but they are sorted out, and so it's easy for me to like flip through the racks. They have special sell racks. Now on the sell racks, the items are not like divided out by brand like that. So they're intermingled, but sometimes in the intermingling of the items, I find a new brand that I didn't know about. Same with the designer. I've learned a lot about designers because they put the designer things in the designer section, and then I know it's a high end designer. And then I can Google it and see if the item is flippable. So, as far as flippability, I am guaranteed if I go in the consignment store, excuse me, if I go in the consignment store, I am going to find some great items to flip. I've never walked out empty handed. And whereas the bins, it's a crapshoot. Sometimes I go in there and I feel like it wasn't a great bins day. I just got a bunch of lower mall brand things. Um, and then sometimes like I have found what was that one? Love Shack Fancy. I found a Love Shack Fancy dress at the bins and it sold the next day for $80. So, I mean, that's amazing. So, whereas the flippability at the consignment shop, I know time on task, I am going to find some great things flip for great money. At the bins, it's just the luck of the draw. It literally is a treasure hunt. I think the longer that you're there, the more you can find because you're going through more stuff. But also, there's been times where I've been there and for a long time and I still had duds. So it's not a guarantee, but I do find many good items to flip at the bins. Many of them are at the lower price point. When we talk about processing, hands down, the Goodwill, the consignment shop is the best. Those things are already vetted for stains, tears, rips off the bat by the consignment shop staff. So I know if it's for sale there, it's good to go. And they require things to be cleaned on hangers when the clients bring them in to sell. So I've already got a clean item that is predominantly wrinkle free. So as far as our processing, I skip the whole step of washing. We can just go straight to haul video, and then Brian hits them with a steamer and photographs, and they're in inventory. They can be in inventory and listed within 24 to 48 hours of me picking the item out at the store. Whereas processing for our bins things, every single thing that can be washed from the bins is washed in the washing machine. And then first I do the haul videos, then I wash the items, and then they go downstairs for steaming and because of the volume of items we often get to the bin from the bins, it could be um, more like 3 to 5 days from the time I pick the item up to the time it is listed. So a much longer processing timeline to get that item listed in front of the eyes of buyers. So that's something to think about, how that processing plays into your business model. We have two people working on processing things. So if you're a single person doing everything by yourself, maybe consignment shops is the way to go because you can cut out a lot, washing, which does take time. Um, and just deal with smaller batches than I do as a husband wife team. Last section I want to get to is the profitability. Um, I find that the profitability of both is about the same. So it really doesn't matter in my business model where we source. Um, if I want to really tighten things up, like it's summer slowdown, and I just really want to make sure our cost of goods is super low, then it's bins all day. Like I can just do bins all day, get plenty of things to keep us listing. I do like to get up 100 new listings at minimum a week. So that's easy, with picking up 52 items in one trip. That's pretty easy for us to do, for me to do. Whereas the bins, the consignment shops, I can pick up, some higher end items and sell them at a higher price point. So it depends. Do I want to sell fewer items at a higher price point, or do I want to sell more items at a lower price point? Maybe a few higher end price points mixed in there. It just is a balancing act, and so I do want high end items at my in my stores, um, because I believe it brings traffic that see other items. So that's why I continue to go to the outlet or the consignment, even though it doesn't always fit into the business model. I do go less instead of going every week. Um, I kind of look at the inventory, and plus, it's farther from my house. It's about a 35-minute trip. I mean, it's not like crazy far. It's over in the city, so you know, if I'm over that way, I'll stop. But if I'm not going that way, if I have something else to do, I won't focus on that. So that is also something else to consider. Um, but overall, I think both options are good options. Um, like I said, I do a combination of them. So think about your business model. If you're really crushed on time, I would say use the consignment shops. You're going to pay a higher item cost of goods, but your processing is going to be less. You'll probably be able to get some items that you can flip for a higher price point, and so you can do make more with less. If you have two people working with you, or if you're low on cash, um, definitely check out the bins, because it is the cheapest reselling next to free or maybe some garage sales. It is the cheapest cost of goods that I have found. And you have the ability to find those hidden treasures, but you're definitely going to find some great bread and butter items that will flip 20 to 25 and up, or even 15, you know, that 15 to $30 price range. All day, every day, you're going to find those things and be able to keep bringing in inventory and flipping things and sustaining your business. So, if you like my takes on different aspects of the reselling job, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Leave your comment down below. Which do you prefer, consignment shops or the Goodwill Outlet? I will say, here in central Indiana, both of these options are better than our regular Goodwill. Our regular Goodwills have priced things out of control. So the consignment shops are better than the regular Goodwill. Um, so let me know how your Goodwill pricing is where you are. Give me a subscription, hit that like button, and I will see you in the next one, friends.